You look at your life, and it feels like you're always a few steps behind. Not completely lost, not completely failing, just catching up. Someone already has the career you're still building. Someone else already figured out the thing you're still confused about. Someone younger is already doing what you just started. And no matter how much progress you make, that feeling doesn't fully go away. It's like life is moving, but you're slightly out of sync with it. And the strange part is this: even when you're doing well, you still feel behind. Why? Why does your mind keep telling you that you're late, even when you're moving forward? The answer has less to do with your actual progress and more to do with how your brain measures it. Your brain doesn't evaluate your life in isolation. It evaluates it in comparison. Psychologists call this social comparison theory. Your mind constantly scans the environment and asks, where do I stand relative to others? But here's the hidden bias. Your brain doesn't compare evenly. It compares upward. You notice people who are ahead of you. You notice the ones who figured things out faster. You notice the ones who seem more stable, more successful, more certain. You rarely compare yourself to people who are still struggling, so your mental reference point becomes distorted. It's like measuring your progress using only the top performers. Of course, you'll feel like you're catching up. But there's another layer beneath this. Your brain also follows invisible timelines. By a certain age, you should have things figured out. You should be stable. You should know your direction. You should feel confident in your identity. These timelines aren't biological, they're cultural, but your brain treats them like deadlines. So when your life unfolds differently, your mind interprets it as delay, even if your path is perfectly valid. This creates something called timeline anxiety, the feeling that your life is unfolding at the wrong speed. But the truth most people don't realize: there is no universal timeline. There are only patterns you've been exposed to, and those patterns are incomplete because you're only seeing the visible outcomes, not the full process behind them. You see someone's success, but not the years they spent feeling lost. You see someone's confidence, but not the period where they doubted everything. You see someone's stability, but not the uncertainty that came before it. Human lives don't move in straight lines. They move in phases. Long periods where nothing seems to change, followed by short periods where everything shifts quickly. But when you're inside the slow phase, it feels like you're falling behind. Your brain interprets slow progress as no progress, even when something is building underneath. Think of it like roots growing under the soil. For a long time, nothing is visible, but below the surface, structure is forming. Strength is being developed. Stability is being built. If you judged the process from the outside, it would look like nothing is happening. But growth often begins where you can't see it. And there's something else that adds to this feeling. Your brain prefers certainty. When you're still figuring things out, your path feels unclear, and uncertainty creates discomfort. So your brain looks for people who seem certain, people who appear ahead. And it uses them as a reference point, not because they are better, but because certainty feels safer than exploration. This is why the feeling of catching up often appears strongest during periods of change, when you're learning something new, when you're shifting direction, when you're rebuilding your identity. Because during those moments, your path doesn't look stable yet. But here's the quiet psychological truth. Feeling like you're catching up often means you're actually in a phase of growth. You're not repeating the same patterns, you're adjusting them. You're not staying still, you're recalibrating. And recalibration feels slower than momentum, but it often leads to more stable progress. There's also a deeper pattern. People who feel like they're behind often develop more self-awareness because they spend more time questioning their direction, more time reflecting, more time understanding themselves instead of blindly following a path. And that depth becomes valuable later, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. So the next time you feel like you're always catching up, pause. Look at what your brain is doing. It's comparing your full journey to someone else's visible moment. It's measuring your process against an incomplete picture. And then it's telling you that you're late. But the truth is simpler. You're not behind. You're just moving at a pace that doesn't match the illusion you've been shown. And the moment you stop measuring your life against those invisible timelines, something shifts. You stop chasing where you think you should be, and you start noticing where you actually are. Because progress doesn't always feel fast. It doesn't always feel clear, but it's still progress. And one day, you'll look back at the phase where you felt like you were catching up and realize you were never behind. You were just becoming.